Prime Minister Anthony Albanese has revealed the next plank of Labor's Future Made in Australia plan. The government's pledged $2 billion to offer energy-intensive aluminium smelters production credits for every tonne of green aluminium produced over the coming decade. Industry and Science Minister Ed Husic was in Tomago for the announcement. I spoke to him a short time ago and started by asking him about how this plan will help businesses make the green transition.
Is an important day because Australia is in the top 6 of aluminium producers in the world, but you can't sit on your hands and expect that nothing will change. There's a big process of decarbonisation happening with metal manufacture globally. And so what we've announced today, having worked with industry, is a plan to secure jobs, particularly in regional Australia, where blue-collar communities depend on the type of work that's created out of, for example, aluminium manufacture. 75,000 jobs are basically supported through that very activity right now. The Albanese government has announced a $2 billion production credit that kicks in from 2028 to help aluminium producers as they're looking to decarbonise and to be able to make aluminium sustainably. Really important as a long-term plan to keep aluminium manufacture in this country in different parts of the nation.
So how do we ensure the reliability and availability of renewable energy, given that if we didn't have it, then the production of aluminium would be more costly and more difficult?
What we're doing is playing catch-up after 10 years of coalition neglect to think about how we generate electricity, energy into the long term. We've seen nearly 22 failed energy policies by them under their time in government. We have really fixed on increasing supply, particularly through lower cost renewable energy. And so working with industry, again, aluminium producers want to get access to renewable energy, are prepared to invest in that, and particularly to take on board contracts from renewable energy providers. And so the work that we're doing in terms of generating electricity through solar, through wind, the longer term work that needs to be undertaken with hydrogen as well, which will be important for steel, green steel manufacture into the long term. These are important investments.
Now, there had been doubts from the corporate front about transitioning to full renewable energy sources, within a certain range of time. So how is this plan going to accelerate that?
Well, firstly, I think there are it depends on who you talk in industry. I think in industry who are very confident about the way in which renewables are rolling out, and also confident about the economic and commercial opportunity that's presented by getting our act together in this space, the jobs that are created and the firms that are able to prosper as a result. Again, this plan in terms of what we've announced for aluminium and the green aluminium production support, that is being shaped up with industry, with unions, with researchers, to work out what will be the best approach moving forward. And so being able to access renewable energy, having those contracts flow that type of support through to high electricity users like what we see here at Tomago, that will be important long term. And again, I think what we had under the coalition is a lot of bickering and arguing and climate denial and less action in getting this moving. They put a lot of effort into trying to keep coal-fired power stations working well beyond what was reasonably expected. None of those plans came to fruition. We've just got to get on to the job of generating energy more sustainably instead of playing the political games that inevitably the coalition always gets attracted to.
So how does this green aluminium manufacturing direction compare with, say, the coalition's election promise of more small business tax breaks?
Let me just say the coalition, as I said, they haven't really worked on energy policy. They've come up with some scheme that they reckon will see the delivery of nuclear power, not really being clear about the cost of that, and most of those projects run over cost, run over time, and will generate power way higher than what is currently experienced. We want, as I said earlier on, Leigh, we want Australia to maintain its global leadership in aluminium production. We want to make sure we keep pace with global competition. They are forging ahead with these investments, this plan to decarbonise heavy industry. We cannot be left behind, and we cannot, and I would say to the Coalition, I dare them to look blue-collar workers in the eye and tell them that they have no plan for their jobs into the future. Unlike them, we're very clear we've got to get moving on this, get the job done.
We'd also like to see Australia return to social cohesion, and we've seen a lot of anti-Semitic violent attacks. Do you think there should be a national cabinet convened? Why hasn't there been so far? What's holding the government up? Do you think we're doing enough to stop those acts?
Well, a number of things. I mean, obviously, condemning anti-Semitic behaviour. Australians should live free of fear, regardless of their faith or background. I've been deeply concerned about, for some time I might add, anti-Semitic and Islamophobic behaviour in this country, and we need to ensure that we are able to not only are we able to protect people from that, but that people who are seen as responsible, particularly lately with anti-Semitic behaviour, that they feel the full force of the law. So there have been task forces that have been headed up by the Prime Minister. You saw some of those operations arrest people and get onto the case of tracking people down as well. We focused on action, not just meetings, and working with state and territory governments to stamp this out. And as I said, ensure that people can live their lives, practice their faith, free of fear whatsoever.
But do you agree with some of the community leaders that not enough has been done?
Well, as I said, the Prime Minister has referenced some of the work that we've done at a federal level, working with state and territory governments, and in particular the New South Wales Premier in the last 24 hours, as you've heard as well, taking a very strong stand on these issues. And we do need to ensure that, as I said a few moments ago, people can go about their daily lives and practice their faith without fear of violence.
Thank you so much for your time. Great talking to you.
Thanks, Leigh. Good talking with you.